Hello, everybody, and welcome back, all my beautiful friends out there in the internet world. It's time for more Star Ladder I-League Invitational action here in the European qualifier. We got Vega Squadron going toe-to-toe against the Danish Bears in a best of three, and we're already into game number 3 here. And, well, these teams are just one step away from securing that last qualifier spot to make it out to Kiev and compete on land for a $100,000 prize pool. Should be a good time. This is KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit, and I'm going to be joined again by Ryu Boris. Welcome back, my good buddy Alan, and here we go. Vega Squadron lead out the draft with some respect bands here as they get rid of the Alchemist against that pesky Penguin, and Danish Bears not happy about the Wisp game that Vega can bring forward. So we've already witnessed 2 different games, both teams being successful here, Ryu. Where do you see game 3 going? And do you think a factor of it could be psychological that Vega ended up dropping game number 2 after such a successful start?
I think Danish Bears have just showed me that they have the better early game in both series. In this game, Vega kind of drafted for the better early game, in which case they had some good moments, but just having that Slark completely shut down in the bottom lane just crippled them. And I think it just all comes down to that last pick being very greedy, and they were actually punished it. Normally you would see the Slark just get absolute free farm and go to town, but that wasn't the case during the game. And for this game, I don't think they necessarily need to change up too much. Everything was perfect besides that last pick Slark for me, at least.
Slower start to this draft for game number 3. You can tell this is pretty important now. Ban out on the Bounty Hunter, though. Something that Solo did sport in the previous game, though it wasn't really able to kind of come into fruition. That was more credit for Danish Bears probably being able to shut down and prevent all those ward trades in the mid lane. And Alchemist just getting such a big boosting start, being level 2 as he approached the laning phase, just made things so difficult. Having that acid spray ready to go right off the gate. But they won't have to worry about it this time.
I think they're worrying right now for the Furion for this ban. If they want to play against it, would you ban it out? Or I guess more worried about the OD.
Radiant team pick.
Enchantress.
Okay.
All right.
Vega Squadron.
That leaves Nature's Prophet for Vega, and they're going to quickly follow it up with the Night Stalker, something that found a lot of success for Danish Bears in the last game. Vega seemed to be inspired here. We don't get to see a lot of Night Stalker pretty much outside in the other part of the Dota world, except within this own personal meta here that Vega and Danish Bears have brought in. Maybe a little bit also in some of the other parts of this European qualifier, but now they have real map control here with global presence from Nature's Prophet, Night Stalker with his darkness. I'm curious to see how Danish Bears are going to be able to kind of counterback that bit of control. They'll need a way to get their own catch, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, and
reserve time.
If once again you always want to have this opening where you get Enchantress plus Beastmaster or Bounty Hunter plus Beastmaster, but they're really trying hard in both series to either bait it out or just say like, yeah, I dare you to pick the Beastmaster because we're just going to shut down your vision game. And I think Beastmaster can still work in this situation just because of the early game of pressure it can apply in the off lane. You just ban out the Witch Doctor and another annoying hero to deal with, and I think the Enchantress as well as the Beastmaster can still just take over that lane like we saw last game from the KotL and the Night Stalker, but just going to go more stock standard here. Going to have the Invoker. It didn't work out the first game because I think he went a little bit too greedy with that Midas, and we all know what happened with the Roche fight. So I think Invoker still fits their playstyle really well. We saw Quaz Wex that game just because of the hero matchup he was going against with the Queen of Pain, and maybe this time Danish Bears, they'll ban out no one's Queen of Pain. That was a little bit of a, I mean, it was a hit and miss, right? First game it was good, second game it was bad. So
yeah, I don't know if they go back for the Queen of Pain once again here for no one or not, but if they don't, there's not much to work with out there with OD being banned, Invoker being snagged up. I don't foresee no one to be a big like Death Prophet player. In fact, I don't think Death Prophet has even existed between some of these teams today. Also, the Earth Spirit has just been neglected for the most part as well. So there's definitely a minor meta shift within these past couple of series, and we'll have to see where they really pick up the pieces instead. Even Lone Druid, you know,
10
kind of being
seconds remaining.
bypassed a bit. I wouldn't mind seeing the Danish Bears pick up the bear for themselves.
5 seconds
Alacrity Bear is
remaining.
definitely very fun to watch if you're on the offensive end for sure.
Yeah, they play
Vega
offlane
squadrons
Lone Druid, and they
turn
also
to
play
ban.
Ursa too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they can get 2 bears on their side, and I don't know. I just don't know if they want to play that kind of style where you have your
10
potentially.
seconds
I
remaining.
don't think Lone Druid plus Enchantress really synergize that well in the offlane. I would rather have it in the
5
safe lane
seconds
in this
remaining.
game. Or you could just have the Enchantress roaming bottom lane trying to take the
Reserve
tower
time.
early, or in this case, since they're on the dire side, they would take the top. Maybe she could put pressure on the mid lane, but the CM ban coming out here, fearing that over anything else.
Do you think
Vega
Vega are going to put
squadrons
together
turn to
a dual
pick.
lane setup for this Night Stalker and Nature's Prophet and take advantage of the fact that Enchantress might be in the
Radiant
jungle,
team
or
pick.
do you think they might just put the Night Stalker elsewhere? They also have picked up the puck now, so it is going to be something different here for no one. Hey, why not get the Quap? Oh, they already have Invoker. Switch it over to a safe lane Invoker, and let's again have Queen of Pain versus Puck, just because we get to see that
That'd
all
be
the
really
time.
cool. I don't think it's gonna work out in this series, but that would be awesome to see it. We saw it. Was it 2 games? No, was it
10
2 games
seconds
yesterday or
remaining.
all 3? I'm trying to remember
Definitely
now.
was at least 2.
Yeah, it was
5
2, I think, and
seconds
then
remaining.
it changed up for one of the games. But I think right now Vega, they can't go
Reserve time.
too aggressive with the Night Stalker because they need to first find out how greedy Danish Bears want to be. There's still
Yeah.
Spectre on the field. If Danish Bears want to go that route, I think the hero is nice against the Nature's Prophet. It's not bad against the Puck either, but instead going to get the support
Vega
hero first.
squadrons
Lion's going to
turn
be
to
their
pick.
thing, and Puck, we saw it earlier when the Puck immediately blinked in. He got hexed and wasn't able to cast any of the spells, then got doomed up immediately. So could be seeing that happen up again. For Vega, what do they want to get now? They need another support because I would rather see the Night Stalker go for the Iron Talon.
Can
And then
they do a Drow Ranger lineup, maybe?
10
Puck,
seconds
Nature's
remaining.
Prophet?
I think Gyro is the best pick
Gyro.
right now for Vega.
5
Boring.
seconds
But
remaining.
yeah,
Well, you need a lot of burst damage for this Enchantress, as well as another.
that's true. What about
Reserve
Ursa?
time.
Can't they go
Support.
Ursa? Dire side against Enchantress?
Ursa.
You know?
But they can get kited. Like, this is probably the worst Ursa game for kiting purposes because Invoker, all of his spells, Tornado, Ice
Yeah.
Wall, and then Lion with Hex and stuff.
Radiant
It's a really
team
bad
pick.
game for him until he gets a BKB. But Witch Doctor, I thought they would pick it up earlier, and that's why I was kind of dissuaded from it. And
It also could have been a good grab for Danish Bears
Yeah.
if they wanted to place it instead of the Lion. But Vega will get it. Still a good grab for them. You know, obviously has great ricochet potential against the Enchantress and her creeps, and he can pretty much break down and shatter apart any team fight at a moment's
10
notice. So
seconds remaining.
not really surprised to see him come out here and now for him. But
5
I
seconds
got to see
remaining.
what Danish Bears are going to be doing, though. They still need to get their safe lane grab for Ace.
Reserve time.
Play the Ember Spirit in this
Ember.
game.
yeah, trying to think of what else he might play. I mean, Gyrocopter for them this time isn't too bad.
What about
Can-
Jug?
Jug is one of those weird heroes this game where you have to go BKB kind of a
Vega
rush or a Manta
squadrons
style
turn
because
to
there's a lot of
battle.
silences on the team of Vega.
Yeah, that's
So-
definitely true.
Mm,
Tusk is going to be grabbed in the meantime. Does offer a great frontliner, but that means that this is either going to
10
be an
seconds
off-lane
remaining.
Tusk or an off-lane Enchantress coming out from Danish Bears.
5 seconds remaining.
seems like an offlane Enchantress
Reserve time.
to me.
Only
I
has to
would
worry
much
about
rather
the
have
Witch
the-
Doctor right now, but we'll see if they followed up with anything
10
else here
seconds
because they still
remaining.
have to get their safe lane grab.
Maybe he just goes untouchable and
5
heal or
seconds
something
remaining.
and just tries to right click down in the lane. And then Tusk is going to be the one rotating around, getting the kills.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the gyro band there.
Radiant team ban.
Now, what could
So if
prove
they're
to
not
be,
picking up gyro themselves, Dakota, what are they getting?
for Vega?
Yeah. Spectre, yeah.
Spectre's been
Vega
out, so
squadrons
for
turn
FN, I
to
mean, he
pick.
played Ursa yesterday. Still feel like the kiting potential is very good, and I agree with you. Now with Tusk even coming in, they have the defensive snowball, the shards to work with. So you got to look elsewhere. I don't know if it's another go for the Slark. Even then, though, it's very difficult when you're dealing with something like the Enchantress here, especially if it's going to be put in a core position. MKB candidates. What about Clinks? Clinks is still out there. Ursa. They do end up going for the Ursa.
Radiant
And then a Brood Mother. Boom! Against Mag. Are you ready? Game number 3. All right.
Sometimes you just get brutalized.
Do you think the Brood is this one of those opportunities where they just got Brood mothered?
This could be one of those games where you have absolutely no potential to counter him. Like Ursa Battle Fury, that's Kappa region. Nature's Prophet, Mjolnir is like the biggest thing, or Maelstrom I can see, but by the time that comes online, you have Brood having Orchid plus another item or something. They have absolutely nothing here to deal with them. And my biggest concern right now is if it's Brood. Okay, so who's going to handle the safe lane,
this
right?
This is weird.
So it could be Brood,
10
safe
seconds
lane.
remaining.
Nah. And they go aggressive with Lion,
5
Tusk,
seconds
Enchantress,
remaining.
and crap on everything?
Oh, yeah. Go aggressive and give Brood the solo safe lane here. Oh, man. Mag's like, hold on a second. We got a timeout. I mean, someone could be
you have to think about this. This is too much.
The mind games right at the start for the laning phase. I mean, what could be Vega's best laning setup, given now the new circumstance that there is a Brood Mother in the game? What is the best way that they can maybe shut him down, or just make the most out of it?
Well, the only way I could see it is if the Furion goes mid lane, and then you try to put the Puck against the Brood, and the Puck plus maybe the Witch Doctor, and just try and use that AoE to spam him out, maybe get a reliable stun, and then with sentries down. But I'm just seeing this Brood having a field day now for Ace. At the other side, you still have the Enchantress that can roam around the Tusk. I'm very worried for their early game. But if they're able to hold on, get those Roshans for the side of Vega, they could be sitting pretty. And I think the biggest thing is just how much they're going to have to commit for shutting down the Brood, because he's going to become a very big problem. And the pushing power is going to be insane from DB, where we have to look at the D push only coming in from the Puck. And what was their other hero for Vega?
For Vega, their other hero is their other support, which is Night Stalker. I know this. Night Stalker. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Dakota. I mean, I couldn't remember the hero for once, and it's like,
I forgot
what
too.
is it?
Oh, well.
But they have no D push whatsoever in this last pick. Could see that 25-minute game, hell, even a 20-minute game coming in from DB.
One thing they do have going for them on the side of Vega is that they have one of the best Brood players in the land. So Mag should know how the situation is going to be working out for this Brood, and he can put together a hypothesis as far as what would their best option be.
I mean, because you wanted to run this Iron Talon Night Stalker, this is probably where you just DC from the game for Vega Squadron.
Well, they already did, so
you can maybe mess up the game at like 5 minutes in, and you can just get a whole new draft or something. Hope nothing loads or something, because right now it's like a 90-10 outpick. Like, that's how heavy they're outpicked right now. And
we'll see. It all comes down to him being able to even play the Brood game. I don't know. I don't have their Dota buff handy to see if he's been a recent Brood picker here. I agree with you that the draft and the setup on paper definitely favors the Danish Bears in this one. And how crazy would it be if the Danish Bears end up eliminating Vega in the Game 3 matchup where they did a Brood pick at the end against all people Vega with Mag and everything. So,
Hip Mag.
That would be a bit silly. Yeah, they didn't even say anything, so unless there's some sort of discussion happening outside our virtual world here, I have no idea what's going on. Just frantic pings flying out from the Bears, who probably feel pretty confident, and well, Vega, who are in the bathroom or something. I don't know. Internet issues, I suppose, but it looks like Nature's Prophet's back, so that's one. And the Night Stalker. Oh, goody. I think we're going to have a game.
So,
Internet issues. All right. Fair enough.
how can you stop the early game aggression now from Vega Squadron? Scouts out, see if anybody's going to be TPing. None yet, so that's good. Already having that information for DB. They can just straight up walk to lanes now. They don't have to TP any one of themselves. And there we go. We have the answer. Where is Ace going to start off? Be in the bottom lane.
So a bottom lane matchup here. It looks like Vega are already going on their own move. They're going to try to strike as 5 with the benefit from an early coconut stun, having the Ursa. Maybe they feel like their level 1 fight can be a bit better here, but they have not gone in and checked out the situation yet. Mag will lead things off. I don't know, he's trying a Roche bait or something. Putting the Treants into the Roche pit here. And they're going to smoke behind him. This is a bit of a bait towards the pit, but they will not be caught out. They're trying to get close enough to the Lion, but Lion has boots at level 1, and he's able to race away from trouble. Oh god, Penguin's like, I got to get the hell out of here. He's hustling back it away. Can Mag get close enough? No. Solo is able to get close enough. Finally gets off the Void, but the shards will come out. The coconut will fly. Still not enough, man. They really want to get this kill. No one jumps under the tower for it. Will get stunned up. He's soon to fall. Turns into a 1-for-1 trade. Does the bloodbath stop here? It looks like it may. Vega, man, they were so thirsty to get that kill. And in the end, it does pay off in the fact that they will walk away with the first blood bounty. FN will pick up the bounty rune there at the bottom, and it looks like they will leave Penguin with the bounty rune at the top. Let the laning phase begin.
I had flashbacks to like TI2 or TI1 right now, where you would have Lion plus Broodmother in the safe lane if they ever chose, and then what they would do is they would just keep spawning Spiderlings and give the control to the Lion so he can get the fast level 6. Oh man, that was ingenious before. And then you would just go around fingering everybody, and it was just so funny back then. But meanwhile,
Sounds
Ace starting at the bottom
filthy.
lane.
Yeah, Ace is
They have.
Okay, they got sentries. They have plenty. They drop one in the woods. Ace quickly hustles up to the north. This is crucial for Vega to try their best to make sure Ace just really gets nothing from this laning phase. Because once he starts getting his soul ring and his level 3 together, he's already just hit level 2. They can't even get him. He's just sitting right under. They finally will break through the trees. They make their strike, and it looks like they will be successful here. He runs right under another sentry. They'll get the last right click. Zayoma will pick that one up, and Vega enhanced their lead now 2-1, and any early kills on the Broodmother is a good start for them, but they will have to continue to keep her in check.
Yes, that is the biggest thing right now. Keeping her in check. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, we got to go back on it. Puck versus the Invoker here. It can heavily favor the Puck a little bit early on, but once you start getting those Quas and Exort levels up, it's really hard to last hit against an Invoker. And so checking out the CS early here, it's going to favor the Invoker a little bit. Meanwhile, top lane dives on Mag. He's not getting out of this.
No, he is not.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on the tower.
Yeah, the roll in. I mean, when they go with this aggro setup, you know, maybe they see their ace Broodmother go down, but they're going to try their best to make up for it by having this aggro setup in the top lane, and it does. Once the army's assembled there from the Enchantress, they make their strike, and Mag will pay the price here, and they can go for an early tier 1 takedown. Ace is about to hit his level 3, and things will become a bit easier for him. Mid lane, Penguin in a bit of trouble. Mag rotates in, drops down the Treants here. Lion will show up, gets the early stun for Solo. Penguin tries to sidestep. The orb is going to be able to connect, and now the right clicks come out. Salve up, though. He's good. The Void will connect, and they just need a little bit more. 2 right clicks. Going to be enough. Snowball rolls in. A bad shard block, though. Looks like they will still be able to take down Mag's Nature's Prophet here and possibly get no one. Nice little shift at the end, but there's going to be more right clicks to follow. Noya going to be getting a double kill, and it could be more. He salves up. Maldek's going to connect as the coconut will fly, and now Noya trying to make it back and away. Rounds the corner. The Witch Doctor, though, should be able to get the curse kill there, and they're going to stay close enough for the XP. It's a long-winded round of ganking action, and when the dust does settle, we get back to even again, 4-4.
Yeah, 2-for-2 trade, heavily favoring DB just because that gives space for the bottom lane for Ace as well as the top lane for Rise. And he almost took the tier 1 tower down, and this is still looking very good for them. FN still is having a good time in the bottom lane, farming away, highest CS in the game right now, but how much pressure is Ace going to be able to put on? He just wants to farm up his Soul Ring, and then once that happens, FN might not be able to stay in this lane any longer.
We'll see. He still has some assistance nearby in the form of this Witch Doctor, but yeah, things will begin to get a lot easier for Ace as time does go on, and the lanes will kind of get reestablished once again, and we could see the Danish Bears go back on the aggressive here.
Heard of
Rise
me?
still holds a Hellbear Smasher, and they might try to make another jump for Mag in this top lane. Just need to wait for him to kind of meet up and rendezvous. All meanwhile, though, it also is the first Nightfall for Solo here on his Night Stalker, so he's got a quota to meet, and we'll see if he's going to get any sort of kills with it. He's scouting out the mid lane, and we'll see if there's going to be an opportunity to make a jump on the Invoker.
And then mid lane here for Penguin. All eyes are on him. He doesn't have the boots yet. That's my biggest thing. Also doesn't have any Ghost Walk to work with. Nice scouting coming out from him, showing the position here of the Night Stalker. Solo is going to be rotating back end. Oh, Sioma is going to be going down? No.
Oh, no,
it's
he's
be
held
Ace.
off for now. Ace gets sprouted up, and now they pop the
Dire's
dust,
top
and
tower
he
is
will be the
under
one
attack.
that gets slashed apart. Sayoma gets actually the last hit, so the last laugh goes his way.
Dire's top
Meanwhile,
tower
it's going
has
to be a
fallen.
trade for the Tier 1 at the top, so Danish Bears won't be walking away too empty-handed on that one. But look at this, now no one and
Radiant's
Penguin
middle tower is
trading
under
each
attack.
other, and plenty of burst damage to follow up. Solo's meeting his quota, and as he gets another kill towards the mid lane, action continues to break out for Vega.
Radiant's middle tower
Top
is under
thing,
attack.
top lane is the one big thing going for the Bears right now,
Dire's
but
top
it's
tower is under
still
attack.
not Ace really being a big brood factor yet, and Invoker is still struggling a bit in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's looking all Vega right now, and that's good. That's really good. You have to put on the pressure in this early game. They're doing everything perfectly. Shutting down the Brood early on, the Invoker, everything's working out nicely. Can they keep up the pressure, though? It looks like they just want to try and take back the top of the jungle here with Vega. Maybe get some levels out for Solo, and that's good. When you see the Night Stalker in the top lane, you feel, oh, I'm safe now for Ace as well as the Penguin here in the mid lane.
Respect a piece here towards this bottom lane, but that's only for now because no one has an Invis rune and a coil. They're making their jump for Ace right now. They got the dust, and, well, he goes down again. They're certainly doing a good job. I mean, playing against Mag, one of the best broods in the game, and brood is something that obviously Vega as a team are very familiar with playing with. I'm sure they also know how it might work going against and how much focus is necessary to keep him in check. Top lane, they made their go for Solo. Snowball with the shards, blocking him back a bit.
Wait up.
Rise steps in, gets off the enchant slow. Solo, though's got the move speed from the Nightfall here. He's trying to juke and jive as much as possible. They still need a bit more. Not gonna catch it. He's still good. He's trapped within the trees, goes for the TP, but no, in the end, they finally scout him out and right-click him down.
Nice chase. Sadly, it's only on Solo, and they're not going to be able to get anything else out of it. So they need to start going for these bigger priority targets, like the Puck, like the Ursa here. And they need to try and establish more dominance on their side of the map right now for DB, because they need to make sure that FN doesn't just sneak in a Roche. And at this rate, it looks like he will be able to. And Ace scouting out over here, Sentry Ward's down. Expecting there to be a ward, but not going to find it in mid lane, though. Finally, maybe putting the pressure.
They need to put some attention here on the Puck. He already dishes out the orb, though. Ooh, swing and a miss on the stun for that one, and no one will avoid the trouble. Top lane, though, that means that Solo can make his move here for Hestajo. Does have a snowball and a shard. Looks like he'll force out the shard, but all the meanwhile, and as mentioned, FN will be able to easily creep himself into the Roche pit. Now Ace has
Dire's
dropped a
bottom
web
tower is
here.
under attack.
Sends in some broodlings. We'll be able to get the full information, but it's just too fast. Sunstrike
Roshan has fallen to the
doesn't
death.
get the kill. Aegis will get snagged up from
Dire's
FN.
bottom tower is under
All
attack.
going according to plan here for Vega when they got stuck into a lineup where it felt like they were pretty outdrafted. They are executing this early laning phase almost as best as they possibly can.
Right, and now we're going to have to look to this mid game here. Vega's slowing down a bit because it's nighttime, but they've acquired all the items that they needed to. The Urn now on the Night Stalker, he almost has his level 6, so he can have that nighttime
Dire's
ready and
middle tower is
accessible.
under
I
attack.
think the biggest thing is Oh, top solo. Gonna find an Invis hero here.
Yeah, pops out the dust. Coil intercepted here from no one, catches the two nicely. Lion easily bursted down with the help of the orb forward as he makes chase for Hestajo. And they just make quick work. A nice two-man grab there for Vega. Things continue to go better for him as they push ahead now 9-5 with a early 2K net worth advantage. They'll poke a bit at this tier 1, and we'll have to see if at least Danish Bears are getting anything in these side lanes to make up for it. Ace now level 7. Does have the Soul Ring now complete. Nurse in a glove for now, maybe anticipating a Midas come his way. Does force their lineup to be a bit more greedy, and that could be trouble because Vega's lineup is very fight heavy, especially during the nighttime.
And they're trying to make some plays around the map during the days. Maybe that's something DB are not expecting right now. Coil is on cooldown, so they might not catch Rise here. That's one good thing. And I don't know if they should just move Ace to the off lane or something, but him staying in this bottom lane hasn't gone to plan. Now they're going to start pushing this tower. They don't even need the creep wave when Mag shows up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is becoming a liability right now for the Broodmother.
That is the problem. When Broodmother is shut down at the start, her recovery period can be pretty dramatic. Some very nice lane orientation setup from Vega here. I mean, or maybe just Danish Bears put themselves in this position and we're hoping to get a lot more. But with the Invoker put into check in the mid lane by no one's Puck, and speaking of which, the Puck shows up mid lane, drops off a nice two-man coil. Death Ward also committed, makes quick work of the Lion. They're looking for the follow-up here onto the Enchantress, and look at the bear slash apart the poor little deer. Turns into another quick 2-for-0 here. Vega on a serious hot streak this game. And the rich continue to get richer. Now they're going to segue this into a tier 1 push. And I really don't think the Bears are going to be able to do anything to respond. They're going to be stuck in, well, hibernation. They just cannot offer any sort of respectable team fight at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's not even the Brood so much as just like they're getting outplayed everywhere on the map. Sure, they might have taken that early tower top lane, but at the end of the day, you're still giving up way too many kills, too much map control to the side of Vega, and you're not getting anything out of it right now. Maybe the Midas will come out for Penguin, but that's just going to help him get more levels. That doesn't make him able to fight. You're going for another Midas on Ace here. They're going super greedy, and they just got level 6 on the Enchantress, where that offlane, I don't even know who was supposed to be the carry, who was what. It was just like split between 3 heroes with like the Lion, the Tusk, and the Enchantress, and
yeah,
they don't have any impact right now.
They really don't. And the one lane that they were supposed to have the most impact and shut down was against Mag. He's 3rd in net worth, you know, so it's been fine for him. He has so many other options to work with, being able to double back into the jungle. He can globally participate in fights, which will earn him a little bit of a bonus. And they're able to bring down now these towers. 2 tier 1s already go down, and it's almost as if he never really had much of a rough start. And that is unfortunate here because the fall off from Danish Bears is pretty high. This Tusk has Arcanes, actually has about 1k gold. Too shabby there on back of it, but I don't know what else they're going to be able to get from him until he has a Blink Dagger as a true initiator. But here comes Vega. They smoke up. They look to invade. Seoma leading out the front. Has the coconut here. Darkness comes out, and Hesta Joe has got to be a hasty Joe and get the hell out of there, but it's not going to happen. He just quickly goes down. Nice burst catch from Vega. Oh, nice catch from no one. He gets a beautiful Dream Coil down, which will snag onto 2. They quickly take down the Enchantress. The follow-up takedown of the Lion looks just as easy. And Vega continue. I mean, when was the last time the Danish Bears even got a kill? Looking like the 10-minute mark or so, but it's been all Vega since then. 14 now to the 5 of DB.
It didn't even feel like a kill because it was on the Night Stalker too, who was level 4 at that time. So it's all Vega right now, and just trying to grasp at straws. This Danish Bears lineup was supposed to be really well put in for the mid, or Penguin's going to get gone down here in the top lane. They also have SFN. He's going to be crushing them. Nice spike.
Nice spike, but it's not nearly enough. Even the Tusk tried to intercept and save him, and now he's put himself into the firefight, and they just begin to fall over like a house of cards, man. 6-16. Vega just determined to put their spot into the grand final against team spirit here, and things don't get easier. Oh, Ace, you've had the bottom lane to work with. You think we forgot about you? No, they did not. They make their hustle down to that bottom lane.
Oh, top, and here we go. The magic wand. Is it going to be enough? Nice coil.
He waits.
Oh, he blinks.
He stuns. He fingers. What a play from Noya. All right. No one just put right in his place here. Mag, though, pump faking the TP. Where's he going to come in? Where's he going to show up? Oh, he tried to go for the side shop. He took the good old-fashioned way out and just ran south.
That's just one of those plays that can get you back in the game where the Lions concerned. They have to have him have a good game where he's going to be the initiator, making the turnaround plays. And still, like you talked about, they have Ace's number in the bottom lane. They're constantly looking for him. They have dust, basically, I want to say on every single hero it felt like in this game at one time, whereas they're just carrying around one of the Witch Doctor, Night Stalker, as well as the Nature's Prophet right now. So they are ready for this Broodmother anywhere she goes.
Pubbers, take note. You got to buy dust against heroes like that. Vega just kind of flexing that muscle even more, so they even casually throw dust in the lane. Maybe they'll get a catch on the Ace. More creeps. Let's go. Running down these spiderlings. Ace goes back into his jungle grind. He does have his Midas now, and he is sitting on about 1,300 gold. It's nice. It's fair, but he still has a long way to climb here at about 5K of net worth. You compare that over to FN, who's about 7.4K. So what he got his Mask of Madness now complete, and 1,500 gold to spare. I'm curious to see what he goes for. There's not even a Ghost Scepter in sight, so no need really for the Diffusal. He already has his Blink. I don't know. Do you just go right for an early Basher? I'm not sure what you do with a greedy early farming Ursa.
You do Basher. I think Basher's next, and then you're going to be able to get the Roche lineup, or the Roshan, because you've had such an amazing early game, and you have map control dominance. So that's what he should go for, and then afterwards, if he needs to, he can go back for that BKB, so he can't be locked down into the team fights. But it looks like he just wants to go for the BKB, ensuring that he won't be locked down.
Yeah, I guess it's better to play safe than sorry, and with the way the game is pacing out, might not need to worry about not having those precious extra seconds on your BKB in the late game. It feels like Vega are going pretty in heavy for getting this done sooner than later, if possible. And as they make their approach top lane, the Bears, it looks like no one has made his move for Penguin. Going right for the TP, but it is going to get canceled out from Solo as he casually walks in. Will get cold snapped and have to deal with the Forge Spirits, but his team is right by his side, and it will lead to just a swift Invoker takedown.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, mid lane, here we go. Hestia Joe might have overstayed his welcome. We got a big bad bear. Got the punch. Is that enough? No, it doesn't look like it. And, well, this all but ensures not his demise.
But he did it on the creep. Mag is going to show up, though. They get the Sprout off. He goes for the TP. Hesta Joe is out of there. Very nicely done. Good fake with the snowball, too.
Dire's bottom tower
Faked me out.
under attack.
Okay.
Ace does finally get that bottom tier 1, though. Oh, yes, Mother finally comes. Finally. Problem is it looks like they might be heading that way. No, right into the Roche pit, of course. Roche is up and ready to go. Danish Bears are in the neighborhood, but yeah, they cannot do anything about it. This is just their chance to finally get some farm in the lanes, and they're hustling for it now.
And there's just no way they can contest this. If Lion had a Blink Dagger and everyone was there with maybe a smoke, they could, but they can't. They have Solo kind of touching the deer the wrong way here, and then with another Treant coming in, Rai's going to TP out. Hestia Joe put himself in a bad spot. Coil only catches one.
All right, Hestia Joe's like, no problem, guys. Coil down.
Leave us.
I don't know, though. Danish Bears, they've lost a crucial element of their game plan without having the Tusk available. Now Ace is beginning his game of Space Invaders here as he slowly creeps down this bottom lane, making his way towards this tier 2. Slowly Vega are going to have to continue to kind of get back there and force the lane back. This does eventually get a bit more frustrating. Still doesn't match up with where a Brood would like to be at this point in the game. What do you think is his best options here as far as investing his money? Orchid, maybe?
It's a good question. For me, it's kind of late, 18 minutes to go back for an Orchid. It would help shut down the Puck since he did go for this greedy Dagon build.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of start need to having some right-click capabilities. What did he buy? Okay, so he's gonna go for the Yasha or this the Manta style. Talked about it a lot. You need ways to. No, they're gonna be hunting here. Bears found somebody out. They know Ace is around. He's gonna be able to skitter away.
Oof. Avoided some trouble, thank goodness for that trusty centaur.
Dire's middle tower
Handing over
is
his
under
life
attack.
for the greater good of some scouting potential. Bottom lane, solo. He's solo, and that is a great opportunity for Ace. He's like, oh yes, finally, a kill for Brood Mama.
Tower is under
Finally
attack.
gets a kill for himself.
TP,
but
TP,
might
TP.
lose his own life, tries to go for the TP,
Dag.
but it's too late. And
May you
just as
ride
fast
on
as he's able to
leather
move in and get a
zephyrs.
kill on the Night Stalker, it's no one who shows up with his Dagon and is able to make a nice debut. They take down the Broodmother, which is a bigger grab for Vega. And it might
Dire's
not
top
stop there.
tower is
Penguin
under attack.
in a bit of trouble. FN jump in. Not going to get the kill. TP out from the Invoker is successful, and Vega continue to inch ahead. 19-8, their net worth still kind of plateaus
Dire's
around that
top tower
5K
has been
advantage.
denied.
Danish Bears just doing all they can to hold on to the
Dire's
resources
middle
and just
tower
play
has
this
been
farm game.
denied.
Yeah, they did lose 2 towers just now, though. Denied both, so it's going to hurt out the economy of Danish Bears. But all the items are coming online for the side. Oh, and just to top things off, going to get a courier snipe too. Nope, no one. Yep, one right click. Not fast enough with the second. And even so, he would have lived on 10 HP, only getting it down to 80. So
Close, but not good enough for Vega. And Danish Bears now
Radiant's top tower is
making
under
their
attack.
advancing. I'm always curious when they decide
Radiant
to truck
structures
past the
are
river here,
fortified.
especially down a lane where they already got the tier 1. Thinking that maybe they could take the fight, but look who's already sweeping in. No one makes the jump. For the Invoker here, he's waiting for some assistance, possibly from the Tusk, but the Tusk not going to be able to make it in. Does get the cancel, though, for the Death Ward. Very nicely done. And they quickly take down that support. But still, solo, and now Mag even intercepts, jumps in, gets a Sprout, and so will no one. No one, a double kill for him on this Puck. Turns into a 2-for-1 trade, and now they move forward, looking to take down this tier 2. Side lanes are not looking any better here for the Danish Bears. The bottom lane is not far forward here for Ace, so he does not have a good split push going for this Broodmother at the
Radiant's
moment.
middle
And
tower
Rise
is under
has to
attack.
tend to the top lane because that tier 2 is also in a bit of
Radiant
trouble.
structures are fortified.
Vega could look to take it either really fast, maybe move down this mid lane. Things are just going really nicely for him already. I mean, look how freaking farmed FN is. At
Radiant's
10K
middle
net worth
tower
power,
has fallen.
just 20 minutes in.
I don't know how you're going to stop FN, especially with his BKB. Only stuff that goes through it is going to be the impetus, and I don't know if that's going to be enough. I guess you have an incapacitating bite, but at the end of the day, how are you going to stop the Ursa? He's just a big force, and then I expect now for him to go back for that Abyssal Blade. Going to help, you know, when he jumps on targets, they're not going to be able to TP away anymore. That was a lot of the saving grace for Danish Bear. Just like, hey, I get coiled, I'm just going to TP away because they don't have that many stuns. But I guess the one good thing for them is they have the mechanism now complete on Hestia Joe. It's just the burst, though. It's like once you see this Puck on top of you, because he has that Dagon, it's like, you're dead.
Which
Ursa
is
on top of you, you're dead.
just the disrespect Dagon coming out from no one, and how good it is against especially something like the Enchantress. Even with her drums, like just a couple of nukes and she will be quickly to the ground. But here comes the Danish Bears. One of the few times we'll see them go on the offensive with the smoke, but he gets scouted out from solo here. He's got the Axe Gem, and now they make their move. Quickly the Lion will go down, and it's all retreat mode for Danish Bears. A good shard block will keep some of them back, but solo continues to truck on forward. No one leads in, gets off a nice coil, leads in with a Dagon, leads in with a kill on Ace, and now they look to pick up the rest of the pieces. Invoker also goes down. Both of their cores out of the picture for nearly a minute without a buyback. This could swiftly be the game for Vega. Rise, one of the last survivors, will make it a full 5-man wipe, all going the way of Vega right
Radiant's
now.
bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Game 3 will not be as close as we've seen in some of the other matches this
Radiant's
series.
bottom
Vega just
tower
playing a
has fallen.
polished game, even against what we felt was going to be a, well, outdraft because of that final Brood pickup.
Yeah, it's just the
Radiant's
way they
bottom
laned
tower
it
is under
and
attack.
how they were able to punish the Invoker. They didn't send him any help. They didn't send Ace any help. And when you have those two big
Radiant's
cores
bottom
getting
barracks
shut
are
down
under
and
attack.
you're not trading it for anything, that's the biggest problem. Enchantress, I mean, she doesn't need to have an amazing start. She can just jungle
Radiant's
and
bottom
go
tower
elsewhere,
is
but
fallen.
so maybe if they had immediately rotated their lanes, put Ace in the top lane against that Furion, and get him just a better time, he could have put pressure on the tower by himself, took it, and then taken the tier 2 tower. And this game might have looked a bit different. But at the end of the day, it looks like Danish Bears are going to be going down. Vega, their lineup just scales way too good into the late game.
Yeah.
And it's like what we're talking about, the timing window of a Drow lineup. This one's even worse, where their physical DPS going into the later stages of the game, it's nowhere near that of the Drow plus Aura strategy. So not looking pretty.
They got an SNY though on Ace. Something. This Brood trying his best to be some sort of respectable fighter, but I would agree with you. Just the arsenal that Vega has to work with already, and with the Raxus going down, is only makes it that much more rewarding of a gold bounty coming their way. So we'll see.
15k lead right now is more like a 25k lead just because of their lineup. So it's deceptive how much of a lead can quickly change to, you know, even more. So
Here comes Vega. They've taken one set of racks already. They're looking to clear out the last remaining outer tower
Radiant's top tower
for the
is
Danish
under
Bears.
attack.
While the Bears are just trying to split push as best as possible, plus farm through the woods what they can here. They, got together the Lion Blink. He doesn't even have his level 2 finger though.
Dire's middle tower
And
is under attack.
after a mech being picked up on the tusk, that's really
Radiant's
all he's
top
going to have to
tower
show.
is fallen.
Agnes has been done on the Invoker. Does not look like he's going to be saving the money for any sort of buyback. This is what could be final hurrah for Danish Bears if a fight does come their way. Vega, though, are showing a bit of mercy and will be stalling things out and instead make a beeline rotation. I guess with Roche coming up here in the near future, they might kind of take the safer road and stall out for the Aegis first before Vega try to close out the game.
no need to risk anything. Also waiting for the nighttime can help out. He just used darkness for solo, just scouting out to see if any stragglers are behind, and pushing out all the lanes here is going to help out. They can do that effectively with Mag too. He went for that kind of split push build, and oh man, when you thought an Ursa wasn't big bad enough, you're going to be putting on a Mjolnir on top of him. Oh boy, everybody's just going to die to lightning, die to swipes of my fist.
Yeah, with impetuses flying out real fast, with Broodling creeps probably attacking him, there's going to be a lot of procs of the lightning. So it's on Danish Bears to not make sure they kind of trigger it too much. But they continue to posture up defensively in the meantime and just take what little bits of farm are available on their side of the map while they await Vega, who are clearly determining the pace of this game. It looks like the Roche is now up. They can make their move into the pit, get this done quick, and try to put a lid on this game. Danish Bears will let Vega know that, hey, we know you're doing it. We saw you with the Sunstrike, but we can't do anything about it. But we know you're doing it. We know. So, yeah.
Roshan
I think the biggest problem would be, even if they have a 5-man Impale, they would still need to hex up the Ursa and blow them up immediately afterwards right now from Danish Bears. They just don't have enough lockdown. All of it's coming in from the Lion. Tusk isn't reliable enough. So we talked about the problem with the Ursa being kited, but I talked about it too. Once he gets that BKB, he's free to do whatever he wants. And Ace is not going to be able to do whatever he wants. He's going to be dead in 2 seconds.
Bye! Yeah, Ace is gone. They just hustled that way from the smoke. They get it done good. Creeps are already in the base. Second set of racks set to fall here. Ace is going to be forced to chew through his bank and pull out the buyback now. This is slated to be the final defense here from the Danish Bears. FN already gets a nice jump for the Lion. He turns around, gets the heck off. Can't get the finger or anything. Quickly gets Dagon down and killed. They now drop the Mjolnir onto FN. Coil going to be connected here for Ace. This is his dieback life right now, and he's quickly going to be taken down. This seems to be the beginning of the end here. Vega Gaming looking to close things out. FN will lose his Aegis.
Oh
Man,
my.
no one just jumps in and quickly bursts down the Invoker. Also going to be using his buyback. Meanwhile, deep dives here. Hesta Joe is going to be taken care of on the back end side. And Vega still will be able to round about and make a move for this tier 3. 3 down all day on the side of Danish Bears. Buybacks have already been used for the Brood Mother. Invoker already commits his, so if he dies here, he's out for the game and out for good. Vega's still making their move, though, for this Rax. Looks like ultimately they'll have to step out and not be able to get the finish.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
With the buyback on Invoker, you can't risk anything. Lion did respawn, so they have to burst. They have to respect the burst damage coming out from Danish Bears. Still having no BKB charges left on FN, he's susceptible to die again with the Aegis no longer intact. But if they just make that smoke play again from Vega and catch somebody out with the nighttime, it's just going to be over. It's all they have to wait for.
Yep. We'll see here.
Bold and sweet.
Vega continue to hold out. That's a knife. Abyssal Blade coming in now for Mr. FN. So lockdown is going to be available. And Danish Bears will just have to really put in the buddy-buddy system at this point. Anyone heading out from the front door, hold hands. Watch out. The mighty Night Stalker out on the loose to kind of get things set up. And then before you know it, a jump in from Puck leading to a Dagon. A jump in from FN leading to Abyssal. And you're as good as dead. And with buybacks already spent, you will not be coming back for a round 2. Vega just need to
I love the resurgence of the Night Stalker pick. It's doing a lot of work in these series. It's just countering some of the top tier heroes that are trying to be picked. The biggest thing I talked about was the Beastmaster. It seems to make it so that teams don't pick that hero and they're just afraid to do it. And when that's kind of what you've been winning with a lot, say the Bounty Hunter plus Beastmaster combination, maybe you put them in out of their comfort zone. They didn't have the Alchemist time for Danish Bears. They try to go for this really, it's not, it's kind of like an all-in strategy at the early game. Talked about it being similar to the Drow thing, but Vega very close to moving on to the grand final. Dakota, is there any way for DB to finish this?
I don't know. We'll find out. Danish Bears, they got to dig deep if they want to hold this one out and stay alive. Had a chance to make it to the Kiev land. Vega, though, well on the way of showing off their new roster at their first land. I'm sure Spirit are waiting in the wings thinking the same thing here, but now making the move for the mid lane. Tier 3 already down. Locked down in Ops Ward right in the middle here. Waiting way back defensively, hiding even under the Ghost Walk here is Penguin. There's just so much jump potential here from Vega that you can't really give him anything. And FN will even take care of the southern push here and try to even make a flank play, I'm sure. Hustling, hiding, rolling
They're
through.
going on
There
him.
we go. Big Abyssal Blade. Mask of Madness pop. That's the kill. No one will finish him off with the Dagon. Good coil. Catch onto 3. Snowball will be there for the response to make the move for no one. Burst potential not going to be there, however. Death Ward going to be flying out. Good work for the Tusk. Jump in. Nice finish on for FN. The bear is down. Danish Bears. Think about making an advancement outside the base, but do not want to overextend here. Get a pretty big bounty from taking down the bear alone. But here comes Vega for round number 2. Jump in, new Dagon, burst onto Ace, not going to be enough, gets the Glimmer save, hustles back under his web, and now a turnaround from Tusk as they roll in. Rise is going to be able to get a killing spree
Rise.
as he cleans out
Go
the
Rise.
Witch Doctor. I mean, Danish Bears do end up losing their ranged racks, but they hold for now. Ooh. Cheeky play there from no one. Not going to be able to get the finish for the Tusk, but... Alright, not as easy for Vega as you would think.
Ursa's having a very hard time staying alive without that Aegis. So we could be seeing the game stalled even till the next one. And when the cheese is online, I think Danish Bears have to contest that one. If they don't, then it could be over. Just like the Lion. It's
I see
he's had a
Orange
really
in the
good
mid lane
series.
that far, and I'm kind of like, is that really a Lion just hanging around that far out by himself? And before I can even click on the mini-map to look over, he is as good as dead. I mean, that's a testament to show that Vega can recognize that opportunity playing with some Fog of War than me seeing it, and I can see everything on the freaking map. They're just quick to spot out someone on their own and just make them pay the price. Lion, though, is their, lowest net worth in the game, a low death timer. He'll be back in about 10 seconds. It's not anything to cry home about, but it's Vega continuing to kind of force, the Danish Bears back inside their home turf and with very little farming options to work with.
Behold!
All right, Danish Bears, like you said, they're gonna have to dig deep for this. Where is the inspiration going to be coming from? If we could have saw Hestia Joe having maybe a Blink Dagger at this stage of the game, he could Blink save the Invoker. But right now, they're going to have to just save people. We saw the Ursa go really deep for the kill on Invoker. Didn't have the turnaround snowball. Now they have the Force Staff, though. And that's the biggest problem with Ursa we talked about during the draft. If you're able to kite him, kite out the BKB, and stay alive, you can turn around on him because he's just paper, especially when he went for this Mask of Madness build.
Yeah, you catch him at the right time, and you're going to be able to kite him about, and then next thing you know, you have impetus damage flying through, punishing him at his weakest moment. But in the meantime, slowly some items try to trickle out here for the Bears. We have Ace, who's trying to finish out his own little BKB. This comes in addition to Tusk and his new Force Staff requirement. But for the others, just kind of get some wards and try to get the know-how, or the know-how as far as what's happening across the rest of this map here, which is just Vega farming it, farming their side, farming the Bears side. Scythe now even complete for Mag. I guess they are really going to be stalling things out probably for this next Roche. The secondary timer about to come up. How forgiving will it be? Oh my god, it's the smallest timer ever. Seriously, like the smallest timer ever. It is about to come right back up. Things could not be better for Vega. Thank you so much, Mighty Frog above.
They're saying, please, Vega, go to the finals. I want you to. I'm watching this game right now, watching how bad Ryu is at casting, watching Dakota make a fool of himself.
Yeah, it needs to stop.
And it just
Vega,
needs
get
to
this
end.
Aegis and end this flat out. And then we'll help you for tomorrow, so the grand final will be that much faster. FN already in the pit. Aegis pretty much guaranteed. It looks like he's already made a slot for it. We'll be lacking in the TP department, but I imagine that they're looking to make one just
Roshan has
balls
fallen
deep
to the
move
dark.
into the Danish Bears side of the base and close this one out, but we'll see. The Bears have held once before. Can they do it again?
No, I think the biggest thing we haven't talked about yet that's kind of cool is how they're able to farm at least outside of the map with the Invoker Forge Spirits and the Spawn Spiderlings. So at least they can keep the lanes pushed right now. But Ace is so scared of the Ursa just jumping on top of him right now. He got smoked on earlier, and then the Invoker did too. They're playing so far back. He's just going in a circle right now. This is pretty funny, and he's not even safe where he is right now. But meanwhile, still Vega are going to be pushing out the lanes, farming a little bit more. Maybe farming the buyback here on Ursa, Nature's Prophet, and maybe it's go time then.
No one still holding the top of the net worth. Pretty impressive in itself on this puck. Is 7K ahead, the next closest member of the Danish Bears right now. And with a full-fledged Dagon to show for it now with Lincoln's, holds 3.5K. Maybe could pick up a sheep stick for himself if he'd like. Or we'll have to see. Get an Eth Blade to really make the most out of this Dagon. That would be wonderful. But oh, look at this. Look at this move from the Bears. They smoke and head up to the top lane right now, looking to catch out someone. It's going to be the Witch Doctor. Quick burst, quick finger, quick roll, Sunstrike even. They're like, we did it. We got it. Mission accomplished, gentlemen.
How much did they get for that? 1,000 gold?
1,000 gold. A modest 1,000 gold. I don't know if it was worth the adventure, but Vega are going to have to make a push happen in the meantime as 4. I mean, you lost a Witch Doctor. I guess it's not the worst thing ever, but
half of that money went to the TPs. That's the ironic thing. It's like, well, you got to all TP back to base.
Yep. Good job. Stalls things out for a little bit, but I don't think it stalls things out long enough for their own benefit here. I mean, this Ursa is now fully slotted out. Didn't even notice before the defusal. Now he's got it. Even solo. Picks up an early Talisman of Evasion. It looks like an Halberd could be in order for him, which is going to be great. If this Enchantress ends up being a DPS source for Danish Bears, they could just totally disarm her. But here comes Vega, man. This time with one more Rax to stand, the melee here. We'll see if they're going to be able to get it done. They have plenty of time still to work with on this Aegis. And let's see if they can close this one out or not.
Yep, that is going to be the biggest thing. I think right now for me, personally, this puck build is pretty nice to see. You don't normally see the Dagon 5 anymore, but because they had such an amazing game, you can see him just trying to burst down heroes. He can get away with it. The Lincoln Sphere is helping out enough, but he feels like he wants to be even more aggressive, wants to have that BKB, or defensive, my bad, guys. And here we go. They can...
The siege process begins here. FN not carelessly walking in, even though he has that Aegis, not looking to slow siege himself. Solo will just gladly walk in there, but now he makes his jump. He spotted out Ace, makes the quick kill. Ace is going to be out without a buyback, and now everyone pops into BKB. A hot mess of action breaks out before us. Big coil set up, big death ward. Leads to utter destruction from the side of the Danish Bears. They have a couple of buybacks to work with, which they'll pull out now, and they make their jump for Mag. But Mag's got the cheese, eats it up, and he's good. And this could be Vega closing things flat out. They get the return kill on the Invoker once again. Tusk is going to be going down. Enchantress the last to stand. She'll be flirting around here with Mag, but it looks like she's slated to go down. A 5-man wipe on the Danish Bears, and it looks like Vega have been able to do it. With this Rax going down, it is certain that they have secured their spot into the final. And one step away, all that stands in front of them is Team Secret. God, I said Secret again. I said Secret at the start of the day, but I meant Team Spirit waits for him in that final. Before they can qualify for the land.
And this is really well played from Vega. I mean, some people might say that Danish Bears got outpicked, but I think Vega, on the other thing, is just, I think they got outpicked where we just saw what a Brood can do in a lot of games. But like you talked about, Mag has probably played this hero a million times, so he knows how to counter it. And they just did a really good job of knowing what to do. And this all comes back to the laning phase for this game. In the last, 20 minutes or so, Danish Bears just were scrambling to try and come back in the game, but for all intents and purposes, it was over because this is like a Drow lineup. You have to get stuff done early and often, and it just didn't happen. And well, congratulations for Vega. They're moving on to face, as you said, Team Spirit tomorrow. That should be an amazing series. Both games today went for the whole 6 games, Dakota. That was really... It's been a long day for me.
It was a freaking long day, man. How much
marathon.
is that? Like something like
What's our
7 hours. Our call time, we had to hang up.
We
this
cut
one
it
was about
twice.
4 hours, but yeah, the long day of casting. Always thrilling Dota action here, but we only have one more series to go before we do tie up these loose ends and finish things out. And if you want to see that last series, you got to be coming back tomorrow about the same time. We're going to be actually starting up at 1800 CEST. That's about 9 p.m. Pacific time for anyone in the States to see Vega Squadron go against Team Spirit in the final. Winner secures a spot at the Star Ladder I-League Invitational. Should be a hell of a time. This is KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit. Hit me up on my Twitter at KotLGuy, and of course check out my great co-caster here, Ryu Boris, over on his Twitter at Ryu Dota. That's R-Y-U-U Dota. Folks, see you tomorrow for more Dota action. Take care, enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck in your games. We'll see you then.